We welcome to the studio, we welcome to the show, Josiah Queen. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning.
Well, I say morning, but over there it's your afternoon. Here's the thing.
Yeah, it's afternoon here, but I'm in morning mode right now.
Good.
Guys.
Nice. So here's the thing. We're blessed to be speaking to you, Josiah. And you've heard that you're here, and you've landed in New Zealand at a Kiwi Christian station called Life FM. I want to put it back on you. How does it feel for you to be connecting with a whole bunch of New Zealanders right now, half a way around the world?
That's crazy. It honestly is crazy. I've never been to New Zealand, but honestly, it just means that I need to come to New Zealand. That's what it mostly means.
Did you know New Zealand existed before this interview?
Please don't say
absolutely.
Lord of the Rings,
I kind of just thought it was like the brother, like Australia and New Zealand were kind of like brothers. That's kind of in my mind.
That's about right.
Okay, we'll keep going with the New Zealand questions. How many people do you think live here?
Oh shoot!
Have a guess.
Bro, I'm gonna give 50 million.
How many? 50?
50 million?
That is literally 10 times our population.
Dude,
10 times?
Dude, bro, in comparison to where you live, we're just like a little toe.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my gosh.
There's 5 million.
Dude, I thought I went way under.
Yeah. Well, nah, bro. So you're in Florida. Shoot. Florida is known as the wing of the United States. We are like, the toe off the wing in terms of size. Hey, but we're excited to be chatting to you, man. And it must be pretty cool seeing your music go all around the world and hearing from people. And that's what's so great about all the online stuff, where you kind of kicked off on TikTok and Instagram and really started to find people listening to your stuff. What was that like, and what surprising places have you found people have been listening to your stuff?
Oh man, I mean, it is crazy, and I thank God all the time, because it's like 10 years ago, right? Like it wouldn't be like this. But I don't know, man. I've gotten like people like on Spotify, on like my Spotify app. It tells you all the different countries people listen in, and there's countries I've never even knew existed. And there's just like a random like 30 people that are listening there. You know what I mean? Or a couple hundred people that are listening in some country I've never heard about before. So it's wild, man.
Are you still 21?
I am. I'm 21.
Dude.
I'm an old man now.
Please don't say that to us, dude. So you're only just 21. Can we just go back to your childhood? When did you know that you wanted to make music that had meaning and real purpose?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been wanting to write music. It's all I've ever wanted to do since I was like probably like 11 or 12. That's really all I wanted to do with my life, and even through college. I went to college. I got a finance degree, and I knew still that's all I wanted to do. But you know, my parents, they wanted me to do the right things. But yeah, I mean, ever since I was 12, that's all I wanted to do.
You got a finance degree?
Yep, from the University of South Florida.
See, man, he's got to work out what to do with all this money that's coming in.
True.
No.
Hey, so what was it like? You were one of the openers for Forrest Frank, and in terms of someone who's like blowing up online, like Forrest Frank's gone everywhere, right? What was that like, getting the call to be on the tour and open and tour around on that?
Yeah, I mean, dude, he called me when we were on the last part of our spring tour, and he asked, and I was like, man, I had like 10 other things already there, and I was like, man, I knew it was like the right tour for us to go on, and like just what he's doing and the type of people, just the audience he's bringing out. It was really exciting. So yeah, we canceled all those things and we got on the road with him, and it was awesome. We just finished. We came back a couple days ago, so. Yeah, it was awesome.
What has been one of the funniest messages you've received from a fan?
Oh, funniest messages? Oh my gosh. I don't honestly, so it's normally, I think the funniest thing, so I got 2 little brothers that travel with me, and the youngest, he's 16 and he plays drums, and he's got like the long hair and he's dark, his skin's a little dark. He's like not, and so when we go on stage, or he goes on stage, the band gets set. I hear girls go, I'm like, I don't even know how they know his name. and they're freaking out. And then I'll have lines to go and take pictures, and I'll have people come, hey, can you ask your brother to come out so he can take pictures? Sometimes he'll come out and he'll have a line just as long as me. And so, yes, I think that's so funny. Every show that it's hilarious.
So this is like a Nick and Joe Jonas situation going on.
Yeah. And he doesn't, you know what? He doesn't like the attention that much. That makes it even funnier. So.
That's cool, man. It must be quite cool to be blessed to travel with family and have your brothers in the band with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of what keeps me sane out there. Having my two brothers, and then my wife, she comes out with me, and she actually preaches at a lot of our concerts, and when we bring the gospel. And yeah, so that's the reason why I always thought that I wouldn't be able to travel or tour or do stuff, because I just like being home, being at my church, being, with my friends and stuff. But, having them is really kind of just what keeps me sane out there. You
are speed running life right now. When we look at you, I'm like, okay, finance degree, but now you're a full-time touring musician at 21, married. I'm like, what is this, high school sweetheart that like already, you're going to be retired by 28, man.
Yeah, and then I'll be good, man. I'll just be chilling in Florida golfing, and like first.
So is that the place you're in now? Is that your fourth house?
Yeah, no.
Hey,
this is I'm staying here, man. I lived in the same whole house growing up, and I moved, and I'm staying here. I'm gonna stay here for forever.
One of the cool things about us here, working at Life FM, is when we get young people involved with the station and get young people listening to the music today, because I think that's a challenging space to be able to connect with Gen Z. You're right in there. So as far as you and your Christian music, what do you think Gen Z want from Christian music?
Oh man, I mean, like, I think it's just, for me, I think it's like a lot of times Christian music is just thrown in its own category. You got country, and then you have pop, and you have rock, and you have all this. And then for some reason, when you start talking about Jesus, or you talk about like, God, or anything like that, you just get thrown into a category. And so then like everything gets categorized in one thing. And I think the one thing that is just like that I found, and I think other people even like Forrest has found, is that there's other types of music that talk about Jesus, but they can be stylistically other types of music. And there's people out there that want maybe more country or folk type music, or more pop music, or more hip hop music. And so I think that that's a growing thing, is that people are realizing like, oh, there's music that talks about Jesus, that's uplifting, and it's about the gospel, but also it can be stylistically all of these different things,
Well, we want to get a closer look at the stylistic choice that you've made on your music, because we're going to play some of your songs. Now, your first track that we've played on Life FM, The Prodigal, that we will do and this is highly contentious, but every Wednesday we do a segment called Worship Wednesday, where Salah, myself, and producer Tabs, we all bring one song to the table that we're like, this is the worship jam people need to hear. It's good, and we back it. And then we let people vote. And your song was voted as the winner of a Worship Wednesday. So congratulations to you.
Let's go.
And you know what? It wasn't even put up by myself or Bjorn. Our producer Tabs put it up. And it just went wild. People were loving it.
What? That means I need to come to New Zealand.
You
even
do.
More.
You need to come to NZ. So before we play it, could you just give us a little bit of a synopsis as to what the song means to you?
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, it's like I grew up in church, and I would say I served God my whole life, but like even through that, I found like this feeling of that I've always found myself like trying to find satisfaction in my heart through other things and accomplishments or friends, and those just things always left me feeling empty. And at the end of the day, like the only thing that filled the desire in my heart, that hole in my heart, was whenever I was running after Jesus. So I read that story about the prodigal son and how he tried everything, and it never satisfied him. And then I just kind of wanted to capture the moment of him like running back to the Father, running home, and that like freeing experience that it is when somebody decides that they don't want to lose their soul, they don't want to go and chasing after all those things, they want to just chase after the Father. So that's what it means for me.
It's going to touch a few hearts this morning as we play it out. Continue to be inspiring to not only your generation, dude, but to everyone. Will you promise us that? And also promise that you come down
Yes,
to
sir.
New Zealand.
I will. I can promise both of those things.